Hi guys, it's Patrick Clark, the Chamonix Creek Advisors. Hope all is well today. Today I want to talk about a concept called the Inherited IRA. What an Inherited IRA is basically when an IRA or a 401k or some other kind of pension plan is inherited by someone. What happens to it? How should an account be established so that you can inherit someone else's IRA? If you are the spouse, it's really just a simple matter of moving the IRA from your deceased spouse's name to your name. That's it. And then it's your IRA followed by all the regular IRA rules. Where the nuances come in is if you are a non-spouse. So you're a child, grandchild, aunt, uncle, some other kind of significant other to the deceased, and you're named as the beneficiary to their IRA, 401k, or pension fund of some sort. When this happens, again, there's lots of nuances. I'm going to glance over the major benefits to it and downtractors to it. The nuances, if this is something you're either experiencing or you think you're going to be experiencing in the future, we can have a conversation about it. But the three ways a non-spouse can handle an IRA inheritance. I want to do the first one first because it's probably the least desirable. It's the lump sum distribution. Basically meaning you're going to receive everything all at once. A check is going to get written out to you, given to you. You put it in the bank, put it in investments, do whatever you want with it. But here's the thing. You're going to pay taxes on the entire amount. So if you are inheriting $10,000, you're going to inherit from an IRA, you're going to pay taxes on $10,000. If it's $100,000, you're going to pay taxes on $100,000. If it's $500,000, you're going to pay taxes on the entire $500,000. And depending on where your earnings are, it could put you in another tax bracket for that year. And this is a place, this is a situation where you could lose thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars by taking it as a lump sum as opposed to keeping it in an IRA under one of the other options. The other two options require creating what's called an inherited IRA. So granddad, deceased on such and such date, inherited IRA for benefit of grandchild. This is a great thing. No, granddad passing away is not a great thing, but forming it and entitling it in that way tells the IRS, tells your custodian that there's a certain way that this should be handled so that you don't get taxed in a large way, and you only get taxed when money comes out of the account. And there's two additional methods that you have options to on this beyond the lump sum. The first one is what's called the 5-year method. And under the 5-year method, you have to distribute the money over the course of 5 years. And you're going to pay, each year you'll pay taxes over the course of the 5 years as the money is distributed out of the IRA into your name, but it'll grow tax deferred during that period of time. This is usually when it's someone who is already older, their life expectancy isn't that long either, or they have big capital things that they want to get to and stuff like that. Again, something that's not the most advantageous one to do. Probably the most advantageous form of inherited IRA is using what's called the life expectancy method. So whatever age grandpa, granddad, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, whatever age they pass away, that age doesn't matter in how the money flows to the inheritor. So again, you form the inherited IRA, and then under the life expectancy method, there's a required minimum distribution at your age. So the money is going to be paid out on a much longer scale of time, which will also allow the money to grow tax deferred over a much larger scale of time. So this is a great setup for a retirement fund for someone. So let's just say, granddad passes away. He's 72, 73 years old. he may have received a couple of required minimum distribution checks out of the account, but grandchild is 25 or 30 years old. They're the inheritor. Now, instead of the life expectancy being that of a 72-year-old, the life expectancy is now that of a 25 or 30-year-old, which means those minimum distributions are much smaller amounts, allowing the bigger number to grow tax deferred over a much longer period of time. And then when that person is ready to retire or start receiving bigger distributions at 59 and a half, there's a lot more money there available. And so the benefits of an inherited IRA with the life expectancy and the 5-year method are there's required distributions that give you some cash flow year over year from the inheritance. It's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving, especially if you do the life expectancy method. There's no early withdrawal penalties for the required minimum distribution. You know, that 10% penalty the IRS says if you take money out of your IRA early, in addition to taxing it. So there's no early withdrawals. You do pay taxes on what you do take out of, but there's no penalty on early withdrawals. It grows tax deferred, which could create a huge windfall by retirement time for someone. And then lastly, under an inherited IRA, you as the beneficiary can now designate your beneficiary. So you can name your child or your grandchild as a beneficiary of yours should something happen to you and there's still money in the account. And the process starts all over again, and that's what creates the legacy piece to it. So again, if you are either in a situation where you're trying to figure out an inherited IRA, either as a benefactor or a beneficiary, or if you feel that this is something that you might be going through at some point in the time in the near future, you should talk to your financial advisor. Hopefully it's me. Hopefully you decide to give me a call about it. But you should talk to someone, because a mistake that is made in this situation could cost you tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your lifetime because of taxes and potentially non-realized deferred growth on the accounts. Again, Patrick Clark, Neshaminy Creek Advisors. Thank you. Bye.